Hi everybody, and welcome to my first Hero Arts video, Stamps and Punches, the Perfect Combo. To get us started today, we'll take a look at the supply list that we'll be using for this project. First off, you're going to need a stamp set, and in this case I've used the School Animals stamp set, which I adore. The images are so darling. I also have a happy birthday sentiment that will fit inside of the smallest punch we'll be using today. I'm using a 1 1/4 inch and a 1 3/8 inch punch. These are circle punches, and they're the kind that are available at your local craft store. I'll also use some gemstones and adhesive, as well as the Memories dye ink pad in black. I love the Memories ink pads because they tend not to bleed. I'm using some cut and dry foam by Ranger for edging, and then a variety of note cards in different colors that will coordinate with my stamped images. So let's get started. You can take a piece of blank white cardstock and, using the black Memories ink, stamp off all of the images that you're going to need for your entire project. In this case today we're making 3 cards, so I'm actually going to stamp off 3 of each animal image. There are 8 animals total, and then 3 sentiments at the bottom, which will be the 9th circle on each card. Once I have all of those images stamped off, it's time to do some coloring. I tend to do my coloring while watching TV, but in this case I use some markers, and you can also use colored pencils or reinkers or the coloring medium of your choice. And once the images are fully colored in, it's time to do some punching. So to get started, I use the smaller 1 1/4 inch punch for the stamped images, and I turn it over. And the reason I turn the punch over is because you can see through the window. You can align your stamped image in the window and then punch it out exactly where you want to. It's really nice for centering images. And you'll notice this goes rather quickly, so you might even want to stamp off more images and punch them all at once and have even more cards. You'll notice now that that second row I can't actually reach it with my punch, so the easiest way of taking care of that is to take your scissors and just trim off that top row of punch circles. You can set that scrap aside. And now that second row is accessible and really easy to punch out. So we'll continue to do this for the rest of the sheet until all of your images are punched out, and then I've arranged them here the way that I'd like them to look on the card. You'll see I've already punched out some of the larger circles in the solid colored note cards. Those are the 1 3/8 inch circles, and I'm coordinating the colors on opposite sides. And I do that because I think it lends some nice balance to your design. The only circle that I haven't punched out yet is for the giraffe, so I'm going to go ahead and punch out 3 yellow circles to go behind the center image. And when you do this, if you're extra careful, a little bit more careful than I'm being here, in aligning your punches, you could use this scrap for an extra card design, because those circles can be windows and you can stamp images inside of those windows. So at this point you have a couple of choices. First, you could just take your stamped punch circles and you can place them on top of a solid circle and adhere them and be done with it that way. But you could also edge the circles with ink, and I tend to do the edging because I think it gives a nice finished look. So I'm taking some the cut and dry foam, and you'll see that it's very well loved. The nice thing about this foam is you can use it over and over again as long as you use the same color of ink with it. So I dab it lightly onto the ink pad and then pick up a circle and just lightly flick it across the edge as I rotate the circle with my left hand. That just adds a very subtle edge to it. You can repeat that with the stamped image. Add a little dry adhesive, and you have a finished piece. You can go ahead and do that with all of the circles, and when you do, it'll look something like this. I've got 2 sets of circles. I've actually done 3 of them, but you can see 2 in the camera here. And these are now ready to put onto your card front. For the card front, I'm using a plain black Hero Arts note card, and I'm trimming it to 4 1/4 inch square card. These circles are 1 3/8 inch across, and because of that, 3 of those is about 4 1/4 inches, which makes it perfect, that it'll fit just perfectly. I'm using some foam adhesive dots because I love the way that makes the stamped images just pop up off of your card. It adds great dimension. And I'm going to put these circles right next to each other. And you'll see they fit perfectly. So I'll continue on the second row and the third row. And once all of your punch circles are adhered to your card front, it's time to add some extra detail. I decided I really wanted the sentiment to pop more, so I'm going to add some bling. And everybody loves bling. The gemstones by Hero Arts are great for bling. They come in so many great colors, and these ones are great. They're tiny 2mm gemstones, and I'm going to use the yellow ones here. And the easiest way to apply these is to bend the plastic back, and the gemstones just pop right up. You can place them onto your cardstock and count however many gemstones over. In this case, I'm going to use 5 gemstones. And then just trim it with your fingernail and pull, and you'll have a perfect line of gemstones. So to finish off, I'm going to add a couple snippets of ribbon. Using some glue dots, I'll put those in loops, and then I'll adhere those loops to the inside front of the card. You can also add glitter to your sentiment circle or any other finishing touches you want, and at that point you are done. So just repeat with the 2 other cards, and you'll have 3 cards in your stash ready to go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.